To encourage, empower, restore, strengthen and trust in divine power to navigate life. Join Marlene and Michelle for Inspirational Mondays. Join Marlene and Michelle for Inspirational Mondays.
We have an exciting show for you today. Where are you on this holiday here in the Bahamas? I'm Marlene McKinney, and guess what? It's a holiday here.
It's a holiday here too, Marlene.
It's a holiday.
Yes.
And so, Janice, are you having a holiday also?
No.
No bank holiday.
Well, I did work, but it's still just a public holiday here in my country. And just excited to be here with you all. I imagine today we're going to have a different kind of audience because, that's what happens on holidays. We meet new people. Yes. Yeah. So I'm so happy to be with you today. I am just excited about our lineup in terms of who we have as our guests. We are totally excited because not only do we have a guest, we have a sister friend. In the seat. Yes, we have a sister friend in the hot seat today. And I'm excited, really excited to have her here. And I know that you are going to be totally blessed. Totally blessed. So, Michelle, how about you? How are you doing? How's everything going?
I'm doing great. It's a holiday today. I went out, but it didn't feel like one, Marlene. It didn't feel like a holiday. Because you know what? The only places that really are closed, I believe, schools and post office, the bank. Apart from that, everybody work as usual.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. So it's not like that. No,
not here. No. Everything's shut down.
What?
Wow.
So if I remember it was a holiday, I'd literally say don't even go live today because nobody's home.
What?
People are on the beach. The beaches are crowded. Yeah, there's nobody at home unless they are home doing partying with their family. No, this is a real holiday.
No. Wow.
When Bahamians holiday, they holiday. So they've been on holiday mode from Thursday.
Really?
Yeah, because Friday, even though they say come to work on time, we go in half day, and then Saturday, Sunday, smooth. This is like Christmas.
What? Interesting.
Wow.
Oh wow.
I think we have one more holiday. I think we have one more until Christmas. I'm almost
right. Okay, interesting.
Yeah. We don't do Thanksgiving, but we do have.
We don't do Thanksgiving. Yeah.
No.
That's upon us now. The holiday season, right back until January. After this, yeah. Well, welcome everyone. Please share the live. Please share wherever you are from. If you're on whichever platform, if you're on Facebook, please share it. If you are on YouTube, please share. This is an amazing live or friend, Janice. We go way back to college. So
yes.
And we both admire Janice a lot. She is multi-talented, and we are excited. My name is Michelle Blackwood.
There we go.
I live in Florida. So I also live where you vacation, like Marlene, and my website is Healthier Steps. and Marlene is something better. Something better. You
Guess
want
who's watching, guys? Guess who's watching? One of
guess?
our college mates is watching. Kendall
Oh
Back.
yeah. Oh,
Yes,
Kendall. Yes.
yes,
Okay,
Kendall's watching.
no.
Yes,
Yes,
he's
I think you follow with Chinese. You're all musicians, you know.
he sent me a link earlier, so I was like, okay, when I go live, I'm going to send him the link. A link.
There he
So
is.
yeah, so
St.
he's.
Vincent. Is
Oh, hey, hold on, let's put it up.
beautiful island of St. Vincent. And the
Kendall,
great
we'd like to have you on our platform. We'd like to interview you one
yes,
day.
absolutely.
We have
Absolutely.
two shows for Kendall, don't we?
Two.
We have two shows for you, Kendall. He said, "Hey y'all, love and hugs." Oh, so
Aw.
Kendall.
Love and
We have
hug.
two shows for you. We're gonna let you know, okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
We're happy today. We're happy to have with us a really great girl, a great lady. So 3 years ago, 3 years like last month, 3 years ago, I ventured and traveled all the way. Go on, you do the elbow cough. I think you know what we're talking about. Awesome. So 3 years ago, I got an opportunity to go to the other side of the world and on a 10-hour flight, called my sister friend. I said, Jan, I think I want to come to London. I'm going to go to Switzerland to a cancer training seminar. And hey, she's like, you can stay with Mumsy and I. I'm like, really? Thank you. I didn't want to go to a strange country by myself and stay in a hotel by myself. I felt a little like, whoa, that's a bit much. But my friend Jan and her mom, they took me in. I stayed with them a few nights, going a few nights, coming a night coming back, and I was just treated royally, and I truly enjoyed my time. And I'm just saying, listen, thank you so much because they made my stay so beautiful, one that
Beautiful.
I will forever remember. And so today I have the honor and opportunity to introduce you to you all, my sister friend. Let me do something on the screen. Hold on for me. She is, hold on. Trying to get to that file. Okay. She is an author. Yes, she is. She is an entrepreneur in every sense of the word. She's multi-talented. She's an IT entrepreneur and a great, I love this, taste evangelist. I love it. I just love that. I just love that. That was too cute. So let me show you what Jan is into right now. Well, she'll explain more of what she does. Let me share my screen with you guys so you can see. Ah, there we go. Beautiful cover of her book. Can you see that?
Yes, I can say it.
I decided to live. No more excuses. I just love the name and the cover. It's just beautiful, bright, vibrant, full of life, just like Jan. Because she is filled with life. No More Excuses by Janice Weir-Germia. We're going to learn more about how you can get a copy of that book, so don't go anywhere. Stay close, but you can own a copy of her book, No More Excuses, I Decided to Live. So, Jan and Michelle, take it away.
Jan, welcome again to our program. We're just so excited that you're here. And the first thing is just tell us a little bit about yourself. I want to hear it from your mouth.
Well, I um, started out as a secretary, then eventually went to John Loughborough School, then to West Indies College via Mrs. Reed. I think she was she the principal at in the nutrition department? I'm not sure. I think she was the head. Where I studied pre-dietetics, and I think we were all on the same program, all three of us.
I
We're on
think
the
so, yeah.
pre-dietetics route, right? So I started that, and then everything I said I couldn't do, I ended up doing. So did not continue my second year, if you remember. I went on to IT because I said, they haven't got the right equipment to teach me microbiology. Anyway, later on, I ended up doing medical microbiology, and then through training as a food inspector, food microbiology. I also ended up becoming a programming teacher, although I said I'll never program. Yeah, became a programming teacher. And the last thing was my challenge with algebra, college algebra, and calculus. And I remember saying, "Oh, I hate calculus. I'm going to throw this away." I didn't. I still have the papers here. I still have my grip. I wish I had it to show you. Yeah, I still have grip that belonged to my grandmother. And I became the main maths teacher. So everything that I said I couldn't do, I ended up doing. And then when my grandmother passed away, I had to stay by my mum during that time. I ended up becoming an accidental author. And that's how I decided to live came about. And it started off just telling my story of things that happened at West Indies College, all my pursuits. I don't know if you remember me selling sandwiches. I don't know if you ever went to the tuck shop and bought peanuts in the little bags. Pastor Brennan was selling them for me. So he sold them for me on commission, and then I got the money back. So I had all the
Who sold them? Wait a minute. Who sold them for you?
Pastor Brennan.
I remember. I think I remember. Amazing. Wow.
So all of the business models are now big.
Ann Lear says hi, Jan. Sorry about that. Before I forget.
Lear? Okay.
She says, special hello to my classmate, Jan. Good afternoon, ladies.
Oh, yes. So anyway, the whole pursuit is, I found, was more my determination not to, and this is where my new book is going, not to allow the past to dictate my future. You know, it doesn't mean that, you know, because my parents didn't go to university, I don't go to university. And that I don't try, you know, but I grew up around family members that were entrepreneurs, a lot of them. That's how they made their little money on the side, you know. Yeah. So, yeah. And then I went on to win awards, Great Taste Awards, for my seasonings in the gourmet community. So this is where the Great Taste evangelism comes from.
I love it. I love the name. I've never even imagined you becoming an evangelist and tasting food.
Well, it's actually, I heard somebody else said that they were a flavor evangelist or something like that, someone in the States. And I thought, maybe I'm a great taste evangelist because I won the Great Taste Awards for all my seasonings.
I love it.
And one of them is sweet jerk, the other one's carrot ting, and sweet burn.
Beautiful. Congratulations. Wow.
Thank you.
So you are so multi-talented. How do you stay focused?
I'm always creating. I always like to create something. So it's very hard to be focused on one because it's like, oh, there's another and another. And I deliberately move myself so you can see my, what do you call it? Mixer, my cake mixer. So, which I got from Germany. And I like to bake. I like to create all different types of things. And part of to say, I decided to live is all about me motivating others. I've come to a time in my life where it's about legacy building and now passing on. I can't do everything anymore. So I haven't got that kind of energy. So also it's time for that message, I decided to live to go out, because I didn't want to tell people, oh, here, I've written a book. Oh, you can decide to live, this is how you do it. But I haven't even tried. So everything in the book I've tried, and then more. And the penultimate thing for me is exactly what you see here. I bought a house, and I bought it by myself.
Oh, congrats. Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Um, and when I say I decide to live, when I put in an offer for the house, I had no money. That was last year, August. Now I'm here. So the point is that sometimes you want to do something, you haven't got all the tools to do something. It doesn't mean you mustn't try to do it, because it just takes you taking that first step.
Okay.
And then, for me, there's a couple of things. Trust in the Lord.
Yeah.
I am a believer, and I remember someone saying to me, return your tithe every month or whenever you get money, and see what God will do. And
Amen.
I decided to return a faithful tithe. Even recently, when I thought, oh, I don't have money, I just got to pay my mortgage, and I thought, okay, let me just do it. And then it got to a point that it's a situation I read online. It's called being overemployed. I got 2 job offers. So
Wow.
I did 7 interviews. I heard nothing, and I felt, oh, I don't really want to be doing this. But the headache. I've got a house now. I've got to pay for it. And then I got an offer working for the government, and then I got another offer whilst I'm in this job from somewhere else for 6 months, for longer. But everything
Just
is
work.
about trusting God. I don't know where this is all headed. He's placed me where he's placed me. Maybe this is where I need to stay. So there's always a decision to make. But all I say to people is you've got to decide to live. Even to not make a decision is a decision in itself. So you have to make a decision and make a concerted effort. Okay, if I've decided this, how do I do it? How do I get there? Ask people, speak to people who, uh, uh, I don't know if you mind. Sometimes we'll say, "Oh, I don't speak to people of a different race," and blah blah blah. You know, those days are gone.
Yes.
You really have to speak to people. And
Yes.
where I'm living, I can't give the location, is actually in a village. And what I have learned is I've been living under a rock, because the way how people here are here, they don't, they can see your color, but it's not their focus. The conversation they're having with you is their focus, and that's it. And
So
people,
you're so it's
and they're,
basically a lot of people who are in areas with people among like themselves. A lot of times it's fear. They'll be like, I'll never move out to where it's rural because I'm not gonna I'm gonna stand out and they're gonna treat me back. It's actually the opposite. In my experience, it's been the opposite. I've always lived out in the countryside, and you're proving it that most of the times you don't get that negative treatment. Actually, they are lovely people also out there in the countryside.
yeah,
They're lovely
yeah.
people.
And you learn a lot, because I find they love to talk. Sometimes
Yeah.
I have to excuse myself, but you learn so much. I mean, I just learned, I can't get up now, but I learned about conkers. So there's conkers on every single one of my windowsills to ward off spiders, apparently because of the oil inside the conkers. And when I got them from people's yards, and the conkers were soft. That's before they get hard. So it was like, oh, okay. Yeah, so you learn a lot. You learn a lot. It's amazing how when you communicate with people, you learn a lot and realize you were under a rock, Janice.
It's good to have an open mindset in life, open to different ideas, places, location. How many books have you written, Jan?
Um, I'm trying to think. I think there's 5, because besides I decided to live, and how to start a food business from home, which is my most recent one, which has templates in there. And this is global, international. It's not specific to UK law.
Oh, nice.
Um, I also have
Yeah.
um, a recipe book, a nutrition workbook, a
You want to show
poetry
your books
book.
again? You want to show them again?
I'll show these two, but the others I couldn't find. Yeah, the others are on Amazon. So if you type my name and go to Amazon, you can get the others. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Mhm.
Beautiful.
You can
Beautiful.
see.
Beautiful.
There you
I like
go.
how they're different genres just to show your personality again. Multi-talented, you know?
Well, I
Very good.
started taking up sewing actually. That's my
What?
most recent one. Yeah, made
That's
myself
good.
a shirt. I cut a dress freehand and had to tweak. Yeah, so I'm learning. I'm learning.
That's very
Amazing.
good.
So where do
Yeah.
you get all these ideas? It sounds like I'm answering what I'm seeing. You get them from whatever. Like the ideas for your book. They're literally things that you've done. Am I correct?
Yeah, they're experiences that I've gone through. Like, for instance, this is my most recent one, and I'm just waiting for the trademark to be challenged. My most recent one is making lip products from things like oils. This is cocoa butter. The
Why
raw.
would it? Why over in England you'll get challenged? I mean, in America, it's common for you to make it here. In England, seems like they have different laws
The
there.
law is very stringent here.
Very
People, all right. This is something because I was trained as a food inspector. I'm
right.
the kind of person, and not only that, as they call it, sod's law. I will be the one that is caught, but not everybody.
True, true.
Because I'm promoting doing things legally.
It's
If
true.
I don't, I'm the first one they're gonna come for. So I've
Yeah.
started making my own balms.
Nice.
Um, and we have to do certain documentation for the trademark. It went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and now it's all been agreed, and I have to wait for someone to challenge. And they found somebody with a name that could be
Similar.
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 So
Confusion. We
yeah,
call it
so I've got
confusion.
to wait for someone to challenge. If nobody challenges, then I get the trademark. So
Oh, nice. I hope
yeah,
it goes through. Because
yeah,
over here, depending on the states, like different
yeah,
states, you can do lip balm as kind of a cottage food law, so you can do it in your kitchen. Maybe if you're in New York and in Florida, like where I am, you have to go through all that, rigmarole. You have to do everything by the book. Other states, it's okay. You just make it, sell it, put your label on, and do an LLC, and you are good to go. So
yeah.
interesting, interesting. So, is there anybody looking back who real in your life that inspired you? Um,
A few people inspired me. Mr. Wolford from John Loughborough School. Um, Mrs. Reed, when I went to West Indies College, they almost did not accept me because I didn't have the entrance qualifications. Mrs. Reed and also is it Miss or Mrs. Green? David's mum who passed away. Yeah. Um, yeah. Because of them, I was able to start studying and I almost got sent back home. And I'm like, you're sending me back to England?
oh, that
Yeah.
must be devastating.
Because at that time it was like A levels, you had to have 2 A levels or whatever, which I didn't have because I'm more of a practical person than an
Yes,
academic.
hands on.
However, I did a lot of academic things, but yeah.
I mean, you're a mathematician as well, so you're very smart. Very, very brilliant. So you have both. You know, but maybe you love to see and touch the
Yeah,
numbers
yeah, yeah.
because you're very smart. Now that you're living in the countryside, would you say that it really helps you to be more creative? Do you see a difference in your creativity being out in the countryside?
Well, you're kind of forced to. Right. So when I first moved here, driving up and down, I was like, why am I always on these farm roads with ditches on both sides? Some are really dangerous. people have collision accidents and go off the edge because only one car can go down. So you kind of like drive as fast as you can to get to the other end. Then I learned the other roads, so I don't use those farm roads. But after a certain time, when the sun sets and it starts to get a bit dark, everyone stays home. Nobody comes out. They don't venture out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Really?
just stay where you are. So I find 8 o'clock. I mean, this is the latest I've been up. 8 o'clock, I'm dead tired and really sleepy. And when I
Wow.
sleep, I find my sleep here is very, what would I say? It's
Peaceful,
very deep.
deep, peaceful.
And then I
I
wake
can
up
imagine.
really early in the morning,
Wow. Beautiful.
before it gets light. So I find that, yeah, I definitely get better sleep.
So in the
Yeah.
winter, the days are shorter, so that will you get a lot more sleep in the winter time.
Yeah. So you have to find something to do. So that's why for me, um, making my lip balms will be useful. I don't cook as much anymore because that does take a lot out of you, etc. So I more teach people how, or help go to restaurants, help them prepare for the inspector and that kind of thing.
Mhm.
But what is it going to say again? Yeah, so I make clothes. I even started sitting at the keyboard, the little old keyboard I bought for £10 some years ago, and I hear things, and I'm like, I try to play because I always wanted to play, and I thought, okay, well, now's the time. You can't go anywhere. Yeah. Or I sit down and write new business ideas. Another thing, you did ask me how I stay motivated. I realize that sometimes, and this is an interview I had with my tutor, which you'll read in there. She said, Janice, sometimes you just need to rest.
I
You
know.
can't always be ideas. I'm an ideas person. If I could money out of ideas, which I could if I had the money or if I had the right steer, then I would. But I haven't even got the energy anymore to do it. But yeah, I have to sometimes just stop thinking about creating content, posting, and doing a funnel, email marketing. Because my day job as a contractor is I help. This is doesn't make sense, but I help companies to create learning for their staff and to make it intuitive, interesting, etc. But I haven't even got the time to do my own.
Yeah, they pay
It's-
you for it.
I give them all my ideas, but they pay me, so
They pay you, so
yeah,
you're motivated.
yeah. So I come up with all the ideas, but
Jan, you have a lot of things. You have a lot of yeah, yeah.
You may need to
You're
be a
very talented.
consultant, and
I started
consultant.
consulting rather than doing. So for my contracts, I've even hired people. So I'm doing the contract. I'm the face they see, but I ended up contracting people to do
Them
other
out.
little bit of work in the background, and they just
Mhm.
give it to me, and then I put it all together, and the client just sees the finished product.
I
Because
like it.
yeah,
At our
sometimes
age, I think that's the best way to go now. You've done
yeah.
so
Mhm.
many things. I remember the days when you did the catering, you did events in London, you did whole mass catering and your sauces, you name it. You put in your time. You've earned it.
That's it. I done my time. The reason why my seasoning, the awards that I've won last for the life of my seasonings, well, as long as I live, so long as I don't change the recipe. But when I stopped, when I was about to put it out to market even further, is when COVID hit.
Oh,
And one
wow.
of the main ingredients is Chinese pepper,
Mm.
and any Chinese ingredient would not go down well. So I basically decided to just stop that. I've done that. I can now show somebody else who has a different product
Exactly.
how to do it. But what I decided, I've changed to cosmetics. Reason being, again, I was working. I worked remotely, and all here, my lips, they were dry. They were cracking. They looked like reptile skin. It was awful. And then I
Mm,
found my friend had it as well, and I gave her some of my lip balm that I created for myself. And
yes.
then I found it was healing it, and it was really nice. And from that, that's how I created these products.
Oh,
Yeah,
beautiful. Your own personal experience right there and healing.
yeah.
So
Very
that's
nice. Very
amazing.
nice.
All the best with that. So how soon do you think that it will be on the market? The trademark.
Well,
How long do you think?
the trademark should be agreed, whatever, by November. But because it's trademark pending, I might just put it out um, before Christmas.
For the
You know,
holiday, yeah. That's a good idea.
yeah,
For the
yeah,
holiday.
because people are asking for it. But I told them I can't until I've got the trademark. Not only that, in England, you cannot just sell. You've got to, and I keep getting the email reminders, you've got to do a product information file for every item that you're selling. And you must state whether or not there's any contaminants, any
Right.
metals. You've got to even take a picture of the packaging. I'm like, I haven't even got the packaging yet. Yeah,
Amazing.
so yeah, you have to know where you're going and actually itemize, document all of that before they will allow you to sell. Because if you sell, you could be fined. If somebody gets sick and you're making a claim,
Allergy.
all of that kind of thing. So yeah. So for now, I consult people in IT, which is learning and development, and the other area is food inspection. So I would go to restaurants,
Then
train their staff. I used to have a center, but I cut that. But it's just work. It's
love.
just too much extra work. So I train up other people.
Okay, so there might be someone who is listening out there and they have similar ideas, they have product ideas that they'd love to put on the market, and they might need some encouragement. What would you say to that person
Go
listening?
to IdecidedToLive.com, sign up for the free preview. There is a course. There may be some people who don't want to do the course. You could get the book, but one of the things is if you just get a book, it doesn't help you to understand where you fit in the grand scheme of what's available. You really do need that one-to-one time. So by signing up, I will then, get in contact with you
Could you give me
to
that link, Jan, so I can put it up?
IdecidedToLive.com. That's it. You
Beautiful.
don't put www dot or anything, just IdecidedToLive.com.
Okay,
And
let's put
there's a
it up.
course there.
Listen to book.
That's beautiful. There's a
So, you're,
course. Yeah.
so
I
people can actually have a one-on-one with you?
Yes, yes.
Awesome.
So they can contact you. There's email, contact information there, and then they can contact you for one-on-one
Yes,
consultation.
they can. To email me, it's Janice@JaniceWeir-Germia.com.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah. So that's another thing, you've known me by different names. There was Food Truly, there's Food Truly Ambitions, there's Ambition String, da, da, da. But then it got to a point, I had this book and I got the advice years ago and I didn't do anything about it. And I was told, Janice, you are your brand.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
remember that book. What was the name of that book again, Johnny?
I
There was a
decided to.
but there was a book about love that you did. I remember that one.
Oh yeah, that book. Yeah. It's called Ex Dinner Date. It's a story. Apparently, I wrote it in a style I didn't know exists, and it's called Story Tree. So you write a story and you mix up story with poetry. So you're telling your story using a bit of poetry, poetically. Yeah, so it's a mix of the two. I didn't even know. I just wrote this thing and I was told it's Story Tree.
Janice, you never cease to amaze me. You are a trendsetter. You are always way advanced in things that you do before they come to the public. That's how I've known you. You've
Oh
always
wow. It's funny you say that because I remember what we now call private labeling. I was doing that at West Indies College. near, near the peanuts. All right, what I did is I went to the market,
Yes.
got a black bag full of nuts. You know, back then you could spend whatever on the nuts. I'd go to, is it Hilo? And I'd buy a
Yeah.
big thing of raisins. I'd buy some mixed fruit. I'd buy little food bags. And then I'll go back to the dorm and some bread and some like vegetarian, whatever. I'd go back to the dorm. The nuts, what I didn't know where to do it. I spoke to Pastor Brennan. Would you, if I had? And he said, yes, I'll take it. I'll sell it. And on commission, I'll give you back, you know. So I sat, if you remember the balcony of the church of Chapel, I was sat in the balcony at the back with this big black bag in between my legs, little thingy bags, food bags, and I take like 8 or 6 of them, put them in the bag, tie it, and I did that for the whole big black bag. Then I went and gave that to Pastor Brennan to sell, and I said,
Wow.
when you sold it all, I'll come back for my money. The next thing was the raisins. I used them as the base, and a little bit of mixed fruit in bags, and also sandwiches. I bought a bread? You know when you put your bread bin, yeah?
Yeah.
So I made sandwiches with the hard dough bread, and what was it, vegetarian slices or whatever, and wrapped them up in cellophane in the food bags. And then when we were doing exams, I don't know if you remember in the dorm, when we were doing exams in the night, I would sell from my room. And then in the men's dorm, there was somebody who was doing it too. And when he ran out of food, he would come to the female dorm and ask me if I got any food to sell. And then he would take whatever I had left, he'll sell, and I'll get my commission from that. So I was doing this a long time ago. I should have continued. Probably would have made a lot of money. It
Amazing,
was
amazing.
a hustle.
You can survive anywhere, Janice. You can survive. You're a survivor, and you have that natural go-getter, entrepreneurial spirit, and it is encouraging for others wherever you are, whatever means. If you don't have the means, don't sit where you are and do nothing. Do something. Be creative. Right where you are now in your environment. Don't wait. Don't say, oh, I have to wait until I have the best equipment. Oh, I have to wait until I have this to do something. Do something where you're at right now and start. And then trust in
I
God.
used to sew by hand.
And He will. Go ahead.
I used to sew by hand.
Huh?
You used to do what?
I used to sew by hand. So if I wanted to make myself something, I'd cut it and then I'd sew with
Sew
a
it by
needle and
hand.
thread.
So it by
Yeah,
hand.
yeah.
No excuse there.
And I bought my first sewing machine. It was only £79. So it wasn't even a fantastic sewing. My grandmother was a seamstress. She told me how to thread the singer. And I just remembered that. So it just came back to me now. And this is another thing. You might find grief does some unusual things to you. You might find that there's something you remember of the one that you love and you can't do it. Because every time you do it, it makes you think of them, makes you cry, makes you upset. I'm not saying do it anyway. No, a time will come when you will do it. So don't worry. If you're not doing it right now, a time will come, you know. And that was
Yes.
2014 she passed away. I only started sewing with a sewing machine this year. What happened is, you know, you get those jumpsuits and they look really nice. The top of it is designed well. And you're like, if only that was a dress. And that's where it all started. So I bought a jumpsuit, learned how to cut, to turn the trousers bit into a skirt.
Right.
And then I hadn't even taken the label off. And then I wore it to church. And my friend knew about it. She says, you would never know that was a jumpsuit before, and it's from there. So I like to redesign things that exist, or sew something new, simple, a skirt. I'm getting on to dresses now. And here's another thing I did: moved to the country, and when you came here, I don't know, Marlene would know about this thing. This thing that they used to have in the rice. What was it called again?
Weevil.
Remember the
The little,
revolution?
the little bug.
Oh, you mean ball like weevil?
Weevil?
We call it weevil.
Yeah,
Yeah, weevil.
yeah. Yeah. It's only when Marlene came over I found out who started that revolution, and I didn't even know who did it. Yeah, but yeah. That's another story. I got caught by Pastor Lashley coming Friday night up to the dorm because I went by my grandmother and I cooked and I brought loads of food because we weren't going to the canteen. But anyway, that's another story. Maybe Marlene will tell it. But I came here and I saw that, and I was told by the project manager, he said, these weevils, their one destiny in life is to get in through every crevice. He said you could tape up everywhere and they will still get in. And it happens at harvest time, and your entire ledges are just littered with these weevils. And he says all they do, they get in and die. They don't do anything more. So I had to get used to the bug life, and you there's no more like the other day, Sunday, because I work in London, come here on weekends, and I had lots of weeds, and I had covered it with blue tarpaulin. And then I came back and it was really wet and everything. And I thought, no, I've got to take it off because I was getting some quotes to get the garden done.
Right.
Let me pull this all off. And when I pulled the tarpaulin off, all these frogs jumped. And I was like, ah!
Not the frogs.
And nobody batted an eyelid. Nobody came to my But you kind of have to suck it up and just like, okay, this is something I just need to deal with it. Let me just deal with it. And you get to a point where, oh, it's a spider. Oh, I'll deal with you later. Oh, it's a mosquito. Whereas in London, every little thing you're taking spray and you're spraying.
Wow.
So there's one more talent. Are you there, Janice? There's one more talent that we haven't spoken about, and I don't want to put you on the spot. It's your singing. You're a singer. You're a soloist.
Yes.
Am I going to put you on the spot if I ask you to do a little song for us?
What song would you like to hear?
Anything. You're so talented. I remember what I loved about you. Whenever you used to sing at West Indies College, you always tell us about something inspiring about the song.
Yeah.
And I found that was unusual. And I always remember that about you. You always talk about the song before you even sing it. Thought that was very special.
Okay.
It's a ministry.
Well, so Facebook doesn't take it off. This is my own song. And it's the jingle I wrote for the book. And what happened at the time that I sang it, I wish I'd given you the jingle. At the time that I wrote it, I was with the disability charity because I'm asthmatic. I was, under that charity. So anyway, they wanted me to record a song for their album. So I was like, oh, okay, what do I do? So I wrote a song, and the song was, I just came up with it. In the morning when I wake up, there is always something inside of me telling me you must never give up. I want to be a legacy of living. Life has got to mean more. No more excuses. Just live. No more excuses. friends. I'm living, I'm alive. Got the chance to grow and thrive every moment that I live, yeah, is an opportunity to be me. I have decided to live. The beauty at the end is no one
Beautiful.
else is saying.
Beautiful.
I'm just singing
Beautiful.
with
Excited to
myself
live.
and having fun with it. But I made it a jazzy tune. But I tried.
I love it. Beautiful.
Yes, Michelle,
Absolutely.
I am a typical Jamaican.
You saw the comment? He
What
said,
happened?
Janice is a typical Jamaican entrepreneur. I
What
love it.
happened?
Chris says, Jan, I love your spirit, Jan. Oh,
Thank
Amen.
you.
I'm definitely
Like,
learning from
like a
Michelle.
friend was saying to me today, she was saying that her husband's not really good at mechanical things. There was something wrong with the shower, and she's like, I need to be studying, but now I've got to deal with the shower. He's not good with this stuff, and it's just that some of us, we found out by chance this summer. My dad was over here, went to church, saw her dad. Where have you been all my life? They were best
You each
friends.
other? They were best friends. What
Yes.
a reunion.
And myself and that man's daughter, we're best friends. And we didn't know our dads knew each other. And we're both really quite similar. Although we're females and we're professionals, we get stuff done. When it has to get done, we just get it done. You know, there's no argument or anything. It's not, for me, it's not about being independent. It's about it needs to get done. And I think I learned that from my mum and my grandmother.
Yeah.
When a thing needs to get done, it just needs to get done. You know, there's no, oh, is there a man around? Or it's not a male or female thing. It's just something needs to be done. Just do it.
You have
You
no
know.
choice in a sense right there, unless you're gonna go to the neighbors and, and they too probably, you never know.
But think of it. I'm not married, not been married, but just think of it. Your husband is a person too. Expecting your husband to do everything, that's kind of impossible.
And your
So
husband not gonna be there all the time, all the while. So it's
right. So just as a person, when I decided to live message is for you as a person. You know, there are things that you'll say you'll never do. And you know, it's true when the Bible says never say never, because never belongs unto the Lord. Everything I said I would never do, I ended up doing the microbiology. I ended up being the head of programming. I ended up teaching maths and being the head of maths. It's like, maths, me, you know. So yeah, I just stopped saying never anymore.
Yeah, I believe God was teaching you practically, and He was showing you that never said that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. He was
Amen.
showing you practically, literally, this is how I am, Janice. Anything
Amen.
you can do with God. This has
So
been a.
coming now to
I
the
would like-
country,
I
the
would
main
like her
thing
to.
is I'm making myself available. So that's what you have to think about when you're talking about living. Just make yourself available.
Yeah.
Sorry, Molly.
Marlene, and then I have a
No,
request to
I
her.
just wanted her to talk a little bit more about her most recent project, how people can find it. I'm going to put it up on our screen.
Where they can purchase it.
Yeah, where they can purchase the book.
Yeah, Amazon last address.
I'm putting it up because I would like you to. I'd like
Expo.
to see. Yeah, I'd like to see it become a bestseller. I'm sure it is already, and I'm sure that persons who purchase will not be disappointed. Okay, here we go. There we go. All right, there we go. Okay, so this is the book. I decided to live. I love what you have here. Can I read it? May I read it?
Yeah,
It says,
sure.
no money, no employment, familiar? With just an iPad, laptop, and an internet connection, it was time to find a solution. I decided to share my journey. I decided it was time to live. With near debt, living abroad, and business experiences that have shaped me so far, I decided to share them with all of my readers, gain the confidence to build their dreams. For some, it may be rejuvenation that is much needed. It is time to live. Don't give up. In my business, we often make excuses. No money, no family, the family bills. I'm scared. After a myriad of changes and instances in my life, I decided to live. I decided that I can no longer make excuses. I could no longer bear the burdensome feeling of simply justifying non activity with an excuse. It was becoming tiresome. I had to make a decision, and it was an emergency. Nothing ever gets better by standing still. I decided,
Amen.
I love it. I just love it. This is beautiful.
Beautiful.
It is beautiful. So, guys, listen. If you haven't,
You
where
reading
did
it,
it go? Huh?
you reading it. I'm thinking, did I write that? Which is the same. Which is the same with anybody listening. Just start. You'll be amazed at what you've got trapped inside of you. It may
Yeah.
not be a book, but it may be your ideas. Write it. I always have one book. I have a specific color. I'm not going to say, but I have a specific color book that I use for business. And what I do as part of what I teach is that you plan for a 5-year plan. So year one, you say all the things that you think that you're going to achieve in year one towards your 5-year goal.
Mhm.
And then, year 2, 3, 4, 5. But it's year one, the first 12 months. At the end, throughout the 12 months, I might glance at it and then put it down, glance at it. At the end of the 12 months, I may forget about it, go into year 2, and then put my plans down for year 2, then go back to year 1 and think, wow, I did that. I've done that before. I was like, what? Wow, I'm actually on to year 5 already. So when you start to write it down, it's like you inform your mind, to switch on that part of you, to make you go for it. My battery's about to die. I've got to go and plug it in. But yes,
We're almost gonna wrap up.
deciding to live. Yeah, it's not. I'm not selling a get rich scheme. There's lots of that, and what people don't understand: if everybody became a millionaire, the new currency would be millions. And I think there's a current country that already has that, and the valuation of their millions is 0.
Zero.
So you have to really be careful about what you value, not just the money you can get. What
That's right.
value can you add to your life?
Amen. Amen.
Habakkuk 2, verse 2 says, "And the Lord answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that ye may run that readeth it." So we need to write things down. It is good to write. And so if you're not doing that, start writing. The ideas are going to come. They might come early in the morning. You might wake up just to go to the restroom, and then these ideas pop in your head.
Yes. Yes. And you should write them right then. You
Write
should.
them down. You write them
That's
down.
why I said have a colorful book, but have one color,
Yeah.
so that you will be able to identify that book very quickly when you have those memories coming. Because when you have all different books, you can't remember which one. But if, for instance, your color is green, every time you see that green book, right, that's my book for writing my ideas.
Yeah.
And when the ideas come, it's usually about 3, 4 in the morning. That's when I get my inspiration and my
Me
books
too. Yeah.
and my songs that I write.
Yeah. Early in the morning. Me too.
Most of us.
See, we're all saying the same time. Beautiful.
Early morning. Early morning.
Early morning.
Mm.
It's amazing.
This has
has
been
been a
great.
blessing.
I enjoyed
This
this.
is a blessing. And I know Janice said her
Oh.
charger, her thing needs charging.
That's okay. It's about 5 minutes to the hour.
5
And
minutes.
we have been having such a good time
Beautiful.
with Janice Weir-Germia. I enjoyed the stories. I never knew that part of you, that you were such an entrepreneur at college, eh? never knew that. I love that. I just love it. I just love it that you started way back then. You know.
Well, I was working. I don't know if you remember, manual arts was cutting grass, etc.
You had
But
to do
then
it.
I used
I
my manual
never
art.
did manual art.
You didn't do money, Jenny. She didn't do money on us. How comes you got away with that? How comes?
Yeah.
What were your excuse?
Because of who I was dating at the time.
Yeah. But I ended up doing.
You mean he did your work for you?
He didn't do manual arts either. Well, that's not true. That's not true. Sorry. He did a little. He did a little. Yes, he did. I'm sorry. Because he may listen and say, that's not true, Martin. I did mine. He did, but I didn't. I never did.
And what was the excuse that you guys got away with it? Sounds like some kind of nepotism.
No, because I was like, I'm not doing it. And that's that.
What?
No.
Oh, wait.
I was in charge of, y'all didn't know that I was the mayor of West Indies College? Now you do. No, I simply said, Dr. Lashley, I'm not doing it. Uh-oh. My device died. I said, Dr. Lashley, I said, I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. And he said, okay, well, okay. Well, I guess, and he just, Kendall's like, I never did it. I know that, I never did it. Ever.
Oh, I mean, I don't regret doing it now because
I'm not saying
that.
I was just like, no, I'm not doing it. I didn't come here for that.
Because now I love outdoors and I love gardening. It's like
I showed up for choir with blisters on my hand.
I know.
Michelle said, Marlene, how you so lucky in getting out of manual arts? Girl, listen, I never did it. I'm embarrassed to say that today, but
I know.
I never ever did manual arts. So.
And Kendall didn't do it either. You see all.
I don't know if I think there was some way of me getting out of it. But quite frankly, Dr. Lashley loved Marlene.
I mean, I used to I don't remember why, but
I would just say, Dr. Lashley, please. And I just put that smile and say, okay.
He was a nice president. Very nice. Very,
He said, okay. And then when the new president came around, Dr. Thompson, I was like, okay, I don't know how I'm going to get over this. Somehow, I was afraid of Dr. Thompson.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I was quite intimidated by him. And I was like, well, I guess my days of slackness gone. So I kind of, straightened up and fly right because I didn't want to get in no trouble. Because listen, I wanted to get out of there. I was like, it was my last year and I wanted to be out. I was not prepared to stay another day. Yeah.
So Kendall got away by playing.
Dr. Anderson got you out, huh? Manual arts. What a time. What a time. We had manual art. But it was beautiful. Beautiful. I loved my experience in college. I loved it. I often said I would retire in Mandeville. I loved it.
Beautiful area. Mm-hmm. Location. Cool. Nice weather, temperate, not too hot. But Janice is here. Marlene, let me bring back Janice to say goodbye to the audience.
Yeah. Oh, bring her in. I'm sorry. I didn't.
Thank you, Janice. We really were blessed and encouraged. You brought back memories and beautiful memories. And we pray God bless you in all your endeavors and your slower down consulting. Still, you're teaching back. You're teaching and giving back now. Time to give back.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Yeah. So please, audience, any one of you would love to contact Janice, please do so. Marlene, our website again.
What's up? Oh,
okay. Yes. I decided to live.com. Please contact Janice and get our book, a copy of your book from I decided to live.com.
Show the book again, Jan. Show the book again.
There's a course that goes along with the book, and also you can get one-on-one consultation with Janice.
Beautiful.
So much.
The cover alone just sells me.
I decided to live. We all need to come to that decision. We need to live. So if you're struggling, read that book. Get that book. Beautiful, Janice. Thank you so much.
It's not just a read. You have to do some work. There's a workbook. Yeah. There's things you have to do in there. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So you can write your business plan in it.
All the alumnus from West Indies
I'm
College,
supporting.
let's go and support Jan right now. Just
Absolutely.
click on that link. Click it, Kendall. Click it, Michelle.
Absolutely.
Click it, Dr. Taz. I know you're not from West Indies College. Click it, Krish. Let's get that book. I'm hoping that Jan will get it up on Amazon tonight while we're sleeping.
We're gonna-
We'll be able to get the Kindle version. The Kindle version, at least I'll be able to read it tomorrow morning.
There's already a Kindle version, but it's not this new. It's not version 3.0.
Oh,
Yes.
On the same site.
amen.
Thanks, Kendall. No, on Amazon. I've got 3%, but that's why I said if you go to IdecidedToLive.com, all communication will come through there, and it's much easier.
Let's go there. IDecidedToLive.com.
And just sign up to the free preview, and and I'll communicate with you there.
All right, Jan. Kendall says a great.
Nice
decision.
meeting you all. It's midnight now, sleep time.
Past your bedtime.
It feels like
I'm
midnight to
driving
be
up. I'm
here.
driving up to London as soon as the light gets up, because I've got to go home to my cat. I've been away from my boy for 2 nights.
Oh,
Blue
Blue
boy.
boy.
Yeah, he's been crying and walking with his toy in his mouth because I'm not around.
Jan, thank you so much for joining us today. What a blessing.
thank you.
I enjoyed the memory, going down memory lane. I loved it.
And
Thank you for the time.
Thank you to
We'll have
our
you come back
audience.
again. We'll have you come back
2%.
again. Yeah. Huh?
2% left on our bag.
2%.
We aim to encourage, empower, restore, strengthen and trust in divine power to navigate life. Join Marlene and Michelle for Inspirational Mondays. Join Marlene and Michelle for Inspirational